Worldwide, the number of women in position of power holding an occupation that gives them great authority and influence is very little compared to men. Accurate and proportional representation of women in social system has been shown to be important for long-lasting success of any country or society. Nevertheless, uneven expectations, widespread biased notion of companies not being ready to elevate women, cited as one major reason. Though my today's guest is very different, with her rock-solid determination, strategic analytical capabilities, and strong interpersonal skills, and reach where she wanted to. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, put your hands together to welcome beautiful, talented person, Daniela Savic. We welcome you, Daniela, and thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm very pleased to be here among you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to tell you that Daniela is associated with UNICEF as Corporate Alliance Specialist. And today she is with us to have a brief conversation and to let us know a little bit more about her entrepreneurial journey and professional choices. So, Daniela, thank you so much once again for joining us. And we are starting off our conversation with our first question, which is, of course, about your career. So, as I understand, looking at your profile, that you started your illustrious career with some prestigious companies like P&G before joining UNICEF. Was it a better career opportunity or something else that gravitated you towards UNICEF?
A very good question, Rajni. So it's very subjective, right? What a better career is. Is it a better salary? Is it a better team, better atmosphere? For me, what was crucial was purpose. And I loved working for P&G. Basically, for me, it's the greatest school of marketing. But I was missing this human purpose that actually drives me and makes me a perseverant person. So yeah, this was basically the reason why I was really dedicated to join UNICEF. And as a matter of fact, I left P&G and joined UNICEF as a volunteer without any salary.
Yeah.
So you can see that this was really a passion and my true purpose.
Wow. So you feel somewhere your inner values are aligned with this goal, what you have been doing now. Somewhere it is your inner calling that you wanted to, work on.
Precisely. So I do like the world of business. I mean, it's not something that I disliked, but for me, adding this human aspect and knowing to do that, I would have the opportunity to work with business while doing good for the planet. This was something for me that really excited me, and I started really working towards it.
Wow.
And as a matter of fact, I wanted to mention that I started as a volunteer. The funny part was that when I did the interview for this volunteering position,
yes,
during the interview they told me, don't dream. If you're getting in the organization as a volunteer, it's very difficult then to get a position that is budgeted. And my answer was like, watch me. So here I am 5 years later from Lubumbashi talking to you about my career, and my aim would be to show that if there is an aim or if there is a will, there is a way.
Indeed. So one thing which is very, very intriguing about your profile and your professional journey is you're working with different countries, different continents, different cultures. And being a lady, I don't think it is ever going to come so easy, because it is difficult for everyone in staying in cross-cultural environment, new workplaces where people have different set of beliefs and notions. So in such scenario, how did you prepare yourself to deal with all the social, cultural, gender stereotypes, as you always held high leadership positions in your career?
So very good question, Rajni. And actually, I don't think that this is something that someone can prepare or learn from the books. So just to give you some background, myself, I don't come from a single culture. My grandmother comes from a gypsy tribe, which comes originally from north of India.
Yeah.
And then they traveled to Serbia. So my dad is Serbian. My mom is Bulgarian, but I was born and raised in Switzerland. And then, as you rightly said, I did work in the Middle East, in New York, in Switzerland, and now in the DRC. So that being said, I think it's more a question of mindset to have rather than preparing ourselves on how to mitigate risks, because we can prepare as much as we want. The beauty of life is also that it's spontaneous and things comes as unplanned, right? So the mindset that I'm talking here is, that I want to talk about here, it's to leave this position of being a victim as a woman and take our own responsibilities and to empower ourselves. It starts from within, before expecting from others, right? And to be honest with you, and this is a call to action that I would like to convey to all the women of this world, is let's first see how do we interact with each other before asking the other gender to treat us in a different way. Because from my humble experience so far, I did not have much issues with the other gender, but most of the time it did come from our insecurities. And I'm sorry to be so direct here, but it is really what I feel. Women sometimes are not enough united with themselves. We lack this mentality of supporting each other, of empowering each other. And this is really the call to action that I would like to make here to all our friends and women of this world.
I second you, Daniela. What you said, I absolutely agree with that. Okay, to your role in Unicef that focuses on seeking partnerships and collaborations with corporate sectors. In your experience, how different it is seeking alliances for global social groups like UNICEF vis-a-vis with any commercial organization you have worked previously?
So you see here, before talking about the differences, I would like to talk about the common point. And the common point is that any business or any organization to be sustainable, we need to basically address a need. And the need for UNICEF, obviously, is to safeguard children's rights, being the UN agency's funds for children. But then we can't do this alone by ourselves. We also need to leverage on businesses' expertise, resources, but also foundations, governments, and etc., in order to ensure that we are addressing the needs of children from a comprehensive and holistic perception. So that being said, what we're trying to do here at UNICEF when partnering with other entities, may it be public or private, is really to leverage on each other's strength in order to build this sustainable ecosystem for children, which then gives them access to basic social services, and which then will ultimately ensure that they're having access to their own rights.
Wonderful. And how UNICEF has been instrumental during COVID-19 period in offering help to children to study remotely. Did you guys have any sort of collaboration for providing some learning tablets or mobile for kids with any organization?
You know, with every crisis comes an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So for us, it was also a chance to look at what we were doing right now and what are basically the future trends, because COVID did and will change a lot of our behaviors, and this can include online education, but also other aspects in society. So what I really liked about the UNICEF team globally is that I was able to see that all the teams were put together in order to reimagine the way we're working.
Yeah.
But we were also giving, and we are still giving, the chance to young people and the children of this world to also express themselves how they would like to reimagine the future world. So for us, basically, this COVID, and obviously it's a very it's a crisis, right? I'm not trying to discriminate the importance and the negative impact of COVID here.
Situation, so we are facing new set of problems and new set of solutions we are coming up with.
Correct. So do we want to focus on the problems, or do we want to be solution oriented?
Yeah.
And this is basically, again, the power of mindset. Whereas we should always look at how we are interpreting the situation where we are in order to then trigger change in the world.
Yes.
So that being said, on the 20th of November, we will celebrate the World Children's Day, like every year. And I would call for everyone to basically hear their own children in the community, how they would like to reimagine the world post-COVID.
Yes, wonderful. So you guys are, like I asked in my question, as part of my question, which probably remained unanswered, you guys have any sort of collaboration with some organizations for these learning tablets and other things?
Yes, we do. So we do have online learnings. We're having partners who are providing with tablets, but also with softwares. And it goes beyond, right? So for me, just saying, yes, we do, would be discriminating the efforts that all our partners are doing, because it's really about creating a whole ecosystem to ensure that we're having a future generation that would be prosperous.
Right. So, Daniela, would you like to give us some insight into your current projects, which are related to raising gender equality awareness in society?
So the current project, I came from Geneva 2 months ago to Lubumbashi, and basically my mission is to contribute to eliminate child labor in the mining industry. So as we may know, DRC is the producer of cobalt, the bigger producer of cobalt. Indeed, 60% of the cobalt goes out from here.
Okay.
So cobalt, just to me it seems common sense, right? But cobalt is what we use for the batteries in our phones, also in the electric vehicles, and etc. So it's a very important mineral in order for us in the Western world to have environmentally friendly or sustainable world or future. Whereas here, it contributes to the community survival. And you see, for me, I see my position as really bridging those two realities, because since those 2 months, I really realized that we're basically living in different worlds.
Yeah.
And this is one of the mission that I have. Now, to go more into your question about gender, the difficulty here is that as people are struggling to get access to the basic services, women often take the children with them in mind. And per se, it's not child labor. It's just that the infrastructure of basic social services is missing. And the burden on women is that is different than men, is that they are working during the day, they have to take care of the children at the same time, but they also have to go home and cook and etc. So basically, they're always on a 24-hour duty, right? Whereas men usually, but not everyone, usually they would work, but let's not forget, they will do the hard work as well. It's not the women who are going and digging in to get the minerals. It's men. So, but I think the most difficult cultural issue to change is to basically reposition the role of women and to make it more equal to men. Maybe sharing the time with the children, or maybe one is cooking one day and the other one is cooking another day. I think this is really the stereotypes or the heritage that we have from our ancient societies that makes this burden on women rather than being a problem that is actual and that men do not want to rethink or etc. So I really believe again that it's a common issue that we have. It's first women who should rethink their own world, their own role, sorry, and then reposition themselves in order for men to respect that.
Yes, true, true. So charity begins at home.
Exactly.
Great. So, Daniela, on that wonderful note, we would love to thank you once again for being with us and giving us insight into your fabulous projects and the kind of wonderful work you have been doing for the world through UNICEF. We wish you all the best for your all future projects and initiatives. And once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajni. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for watching. Take care and see you.